all my DFS players, tune in. We got a nice slate tonight. Start at 7. Now, heads up, I'm trying out a new format. I'm going to go back to my original format tomorrow, but I want to see how this go. Y'all let me know in the comment section if y'all feeling this way or if y'all want me to do something different. You know what I'm saying? So just let me know, but I'm going to see how it go, man. Let's get into it. Now, we all know that Nicholas Batum has been dealing with a sore Achilles or Achilles injury. Let's go check that out. Okay, it says Batum Achilles is doubtful for Wednesday contest against the Nets. He missed the last game against Philly, and we all know that the beneficiary of the start at shooting guard was Jeremy Lamb. He's a player that I like, man. I love to add him to my lineup, especially when he gets to start. I don't really like to play him off the bench because Batum really plays 30 minutes. So to me, I don't get the value when he comes off the bench. But when he hops in that starting lineup, I definitely like to get him in there. We see last game against Philly, he went off for 31 fantasy points. You know, he had a solid game, 14 points, 8 rebounds, you know, a couple other stats. You know, he's a player that can give you a source of scoring. He can get hot from the 3, and he also can fill up other categories. So he's definitely a nice fantasy player. Now, one thing I've noticed off top is that his salary jumped crazy high from $4,200 to $5,400. So definitely watch out for that, man. I don't really like to play players when their salary jumped. You know, that's a lot of extra cap space that you're using. But, you know, if you like him and you like the matchup against the Nets, who are a struggling offense, you can definitely get him up there. It's just a factor if you want to pay up for, you know, his increased salary. But definitely check out Jeremy Lamb today. Now, next, I want to go to Chicago. Chris Dunn. Let me see. Is he? Yeah, okay, we good. Chris Dunn. He's been out the last, I want to say 2 or 3 games with the toe injury. And the update, it says Dunn toe will not play in Wednesday game against the Nuggets. Okay, is it expected that Dunn was placed in a walking boot after suffering a setback with his sprained right toe? Given the regular season is drawn to a close and Dunn is likely in line for a multi-game absence anyway, the Bulls have no real reason to rush the young point guard back to action. Okay, shout out DraftKings, man, because they do give you that update. But yeah, with Dunn being out the last couple games, this is also some value. I've been attacking Cameron Payne. Now, he's not the most, you know, upside guy, but if you're looking for a solid value on the slate, I would definitely give Payne a look today. He's going up against the Denver Nuggets. We all know they are one of the worst in guarding the point guard position. They actually rank 26 in the league in guarding the point guard position. So if you're looking for a value point guard, you don't want to spend up, definitely check out Payne. We see the last 3 games where his minutes has been increased, or the last 4 or 5 games really my bad. The last 6 games, he's actually has hit 20 points the last 6 games. So he's another streaky scorer that can give you some assists, give you some rebounds, you know, almost similar to a Lamb, but in the point guard position. And like I say, I've been playing him the last couple of days. He's paid off for me, man. You know, we definitely don't like all the 20s, but anytime that we can get that 25 to a high 30, you definitely got to look at him. And with the matchup he got, I'm going to definitely play him again, man. And like I say, if you don't like to spend up on point guards, if you're spending up on big man today, definitely, man, get this man, Cameron Payne, a look today. Definitely do that for me, man. We're going to do one more of the injury. And I like these, man, because a lot of times people forget that they don't really jot down their injuries. You know, I always tell people, jot down your injuries and go through who is going to get that added usage, because with all the injuries, especially late in the season, a lot of players are getting chances to play on bad teams that really don't have a chance for the playoffs. So a lot of things are changing. You always want to stay up to date on your lineup switches and who's playing for who. Another key injury. Hey, we said it's a guard position today. We're gonna stay at the guard spot. We're gonna go down to my man Gary Harris. He's out. Same game. Says Coach Mike Malone said Wednesday that the best case scenario for Harris would be a return Monday against the Sixers or Tuesday against the Raptors. Okay, so it looks like he's out for the rest of the week, Malone has stated. And we already know that the man with the plan, Will Barton, Man, I love Will, man. Will the Thrill Barton, man. He's a great fantasy player, dude. He definitely shines in that starting lineup. Him also similar to Lamb. That bench kinda decreases his production. So you want to get Barton when he's either starting at that shooting guard spot or he's starting at that small forward spot. But today he's gonna be at the shooting guard. Now, I played him against Detroit and I played him against Memphis, but for some reason I went against my guns. I didn't jump the gun in the Miami game. I thought that would be a slower paced game, lower scoring. Silly me, it always happens. Fantasy humbles you. Both teams end up going off for 140 with end up being a shootout type game. He ended up finishing with 45 fantasy points, 22 points, 4 rebounds, 3 assists. Another solid Will Barton game. And he got one of the best matchups today, man, going up against Chicago. We know Levine's hurt, and even with Levine there, the shooting guard position has been something that they struggle with a lot. They ranked at the bottom third in guarding the shooting guard position. Chicago Bulls are ranked 28th in guarding the shooting guard position. So he definitely has a chance to really, I'll say he has 35 to 50 point upside today, man. I really like him, and I'm going to get him in all my lineups today, man. So if you're looking for another dynamic shooting guard / small forward to slide in one of them spots that don't break the bank, definitely check out Will Barton. Now, that's going to end it for the injury summary recap. Like I say, guys, always be aware of who's out and who's in, because updates come out throughout the day, and you always want to get that advantage on somebody that's been labeled as they're either resting or they've been labeled out. You always want to get that advantage because somebody has to fill that role, get that minutes, get that usage. Next, I want to go to my offensive targets. Now, if you subscribe to Roto Grinders, I would recommend you click on get an account first of all, but I would recommend you look at an article called First Look. I repeat, First Look on Roto Grinders. It's great. It breaks down team totals. It breaks down team pace. It really just gives you a flow of all the stats in one place that you need to be successful in DFS. But they have something called, what I like to call a target offense, which is the DVP for every position for every team that plays tonight. And there are 4 main offenses that I would target when it comes to target offense. The first offense is Milwaukee. The second offense is Charlotte. The third offense is Toronto. And the fourth offense is Denver. All these offenses are in blue, which means they have great matchups tonight. And them are teams that you want to target most of y'all players from. For today's video, we don't have a lot of time, so we're going to get into the first 2, which is Milwaukee and Charlotte. Now, Milwaukee is going against LA Clippers. We all know LA Clippers is a high-paced team with defensive problems. That's not a secret. So let's go ahead and get into this, man. We're going to start off with your boy. You know your boy, Giannis. Giannis, you got to keep it 100, man. I played him against the game against LeBron. He didn't disappoint. I like Giannis, even though the team has Eric Bledsoe and they have Middleton, Giannis still finds the way to get his money, man. He's 11-1. Price went up some after the good game against LeBron. But with the matchup against the Clippers, this is a stud I'll definitely pay up for. The game is a total at 226 with Milwaukee being a 4-point favorite. I definitely wouldn't shy away from targeting Milwaukee. We got Bledsoe and we also got Middleton. And you can get a little bit of Henson in there. So definitely sprinkle you some Milwaukee in your lineup today, y'all. If y'all didn't know, now you know. Sprinkle some Bucks in your lineup today. And next team that I want to look at is the Charlotte Hornets. They have a matchup today against Brooklyn. We all know Brooklyn struggle against big man. If I would say any lock, I don't usually do this, but any lock today, lock in Dwight Howard, man. Brooklyn is probably ranked, 30th? Yeah, they ranked 30th against the center. They're ranked 28th against the point guard, and they're ranked 27th against the power forward. So, to me, 2 locks that you can really put them in close your eyes and just let the 40 points come, it's definitely Kemba Walker and Dwight Howard. Now, Kemba let me down in the game against New York. You know, he put up a dub, but he came back against Philly and surprised me. I didn't think he was going to go for 50 on Ben Simmons, 50 fantasy points on Ben Simmons, but he did. So, obviously, that just shows that bad game against New York was an anomaly. He's back to running. And I don't really see them having a problem going up against Brooklyn. You know, Brooklyn's not in the playoff hunt. So, I don't really, you know, they play tough now. Don't get me wrong. Brooklyn is a young, tough team, but I don't think they're going to have enough to shut down Kemba or Dwight. I think it's going to be a field day for them, man. And with Batum out, we know that that's more usage for Kemba. So definitely, this is the flip side now. If you want to spend up on point guard, I wouldn't look no further than Kemba. He's not too high. He's not 9,000 or 10,000. He's right at that mark that he's ready to give you between 40 and 45 points. Same thing with Dwight Howard. They both in the same ballpark. So you can definitely fit a couple more studs in with them, you know, if you work your value out. But they're in a plus matchup against Brooklyn, man. And you know what? I'm in a good mood. So we're gonna do one more. The next offense that I would target is Toronto. Going up against Cleveland. Cleveland has been poor. I repeat. Cleveland can't play D. LeBron can't play D. Nobody. Love, nobody. Hill. You can name them. You can go down the whole roster. I'm sorry. I thought they had a couple defenders, you know, adding Nance and JR has been a decent defender, but Cleveland couldn't guard a hooker, you know what I'm saying, at happy hour. Like, it's sad with their defense. They can score some points, but the defense is just not there this year. So I would definitely try to attack Cleveland. Now, beware. We know Toronto Raptors just came off a back-to-back. You know, they had a back-to-back. Let's check it out. They beat the Magic in a close game. DeMar DeRozan sat out. Also, the backup point guard, I forget his name, Van Fleet, he also sat out. I don't know if he's coming back. You'll have to check that out. Okay, wait, let me check, y'all. He's been ruled out Tuesday against the Magic. Okay, that was last game. So I don't know if he's coming back yet, but I feel like DeRozan should be back. DeRozan definitely should be back. Now, could they sit Lowry or Valanciunas? I haven't got any word. Like I say, follow the beat writers on Twitter, you know, Roto Grinders. There's a lot of sites you can get your injury news, so definitely check on that. But I feel like in a game against Cleveland, where this is what, the first seed in the East versus the third seed, I don't think they don't sit nobody. I think they want to make a statement because we all know nobody believes that they can beat Cleveland. So I think this is a statement game for them, and they probably going to go full-fledged with their starters, you know, knowing that they got some rest tomorrow. So really from them, I would say they big three, maybe they big four. Like I wouldn't be scared to go for it deep, man. I've been noticing Cleveland gives up 100 point on the daily. So if you wanted to go Lowry, DeRozan, Valanciunas, and Ibaka, I can't blame you. That will open up. Let's play around. Let's see what would happen if you went for it deep with Toronto. Let's just play around and see how much. I want to see how much money would you have left. Let's see how much salary you would have left if you went for it deep with Toronto. Because a lot of their dudes are cheap. You know, they're not really on the expensive side, especially their big man. So, look, going 4 deep with Toronto will still leave you with 5,600 left. That's enough, more than enough to do your thing with. So, this is the third target offense of the day. Another offense I would like. And this is actually a game stack, too. You know, with Cleveland injuries, it's a lot of different forwards. You can play Clarkson, Smith. You can slide in LeBron and get a couple of them cheap guys in there, and you might have you a nice game stack, man. So definitely check out them Raptors tonight going against Cleveland. And that's all I got for today, man. Tomorrow it will be way better, more organized, but I had to get some info out to y'all to get y'all ready for tonight, man. Peace.